Hello. Hey, it's Dr. J and Mr. Dorsey.
Dr. J's husband.
So we are here for day 27, right?
27?
26. Lord, yesterday was Christmas, right? So it's the 26th. We are here for day 26 of the 30-day productivity challenge. And as usual, I'm going to allow folks to join as I share this out. So if you're joining, make sure you say hello, give us heart love, thumbs up, and share this out, right? Share this out to your friends, families, and your enemy. As I promised. Enemies too.
Everybody.
They need love too, right?
Everybody needs love.
So I wanted to make sure that I brought Mr. Dorsey on as I promised I would for today. So we have a hot topic today. Not that any other topic is not hot, right? But we are going to be bringing some heat today. So while you guys are joining, I am going to share this out as I typically do to make sure that I'm reciprocating. I'm asking you to share it, so I'm going to do the same.
That's it.
It's only fair, right?
So
hop on.
I can share it too.
To what? Because he is not on social media. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna text it to
He gonna text it.
We have a group text going on with a few people, so I'm gonna send it out.
Okay, you do that. Okay. And as you folks, so thanks for the thumbs up. Make sure that you're saying hello to us as you join, so that we know who's out there and we can greet you because you've come into our virtual home. We have invited you in. We've said hello and introduced ourselves. So it's only kind of you to do the same, right?
Please do.
So, keep joining, share this out, click the notification as well so you'll get future notifications of when myself and or us go live, and you'll be able to join us as soon as we go live. But if you're just joining, this is the 30-day challenge for increasing your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. And we're on day 26. 26, hot 26.
I'm a good one too.
You think so?
I think so.
I know so. So I got one more place to share this as you guys continue to hop on. Make sure you stick with us because we got something hot to try to share today. And I have one more place to share this. So anything you want to say to the people out there while I'm sharing? No?
Keep sharing. No, keep sharing. This is going to be a good topic, I think, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to join in on this particular one. And I'm excited to see what type of feedback we get. I mean, I think we have some good people that will be joining and that's joining now.
Yes.
And some that will view it much later.
Yeah, replays are always available.
Absolutely. So I think it would be something good to share it if you can't catch it now, because I know some people are still
recovering from Christmas, right?
From Christmas, the Christmas hangover, right? And and they'll have the opportunity to view it later. So it'd be great.
Okay, so I think I've shared it in the final place. And we can go ahead and get started for those of you who are on time. Not that we had a time set, though. You know, I say that. But you've joined and you're sitting there waiting on us to get started. So as I typically do, I like to, as we did already, introduce ourselves. Again, I'm Dr. Jatun Dorsey, and this is my
husband, Floyd Dorsey. Mr. Dr. Jatun Dorsey.
Mr. Dr. Okay. He just put all that together, y'all. But I have been doing, and I've committed to a 30-day challenge to increase your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. All leveraged from my book released earlier this year. Here it is if you hadn't seen it yet. And hopefully the light didn't catch it too much, but you can kind of see that it's called Intentional Living, right? And I share 30 productivity principles within this book that help you increase your peace of mind, but also be productive at the same time. Now, when we talk about holidays, we get really caught up in these holidays, spending too much coins, and a lot of time, and we get overwhelmed and stressed. So I thought this was the perfect time.
It is the perfect time and the perfect book.
Yes, perfect book, absolutely. And hopefully you guys did get these books, right, for your stocking stuffers, as I encourage you to do. If you did not, hey, New Year's is around the corner. You got another holiday to grab them, right?
Another holiday, and if it's not then Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we'll keep going. You got plenty of opportunity.
In other words.
Yes. So, and I promised that I will bring Mr. Dorsey on to join me at least with one of my principles that I would discuss. And if you guys have been following us, you know that there is always a date with the Dorseys every week, right?
Every week.
And we'll be releasing our new episode for this week today or tomorrow. today or tomorrow. So look forward to that. But I also wanted to bring him on to join us live and in color so you can see us together in this version as well. Because, you hear the podcast, you hear the voices, but you kind of want to put some faces to it, right? So I had to put a face to the voice.
There we go. All my face.
All of it. So if you haven't been following along, remember that you can always catch the replays if you go to @drjatun.com. I'm sorry, I gave you the website and my handle on Facebook all together, but Facebook @drjatun. You can catch all the replays and catch up. However, before we go into the topic for today, I wanted to remind you of what we talked about so that you'll get, your appetite to build up for what you've missed out on. And on these days you got off for the holidays, you can binge watch.
That's it.
Binge watch, right? So we talked about shifting your mindset. So we went through a few principles to help you reframe your negative thoughts, right? So getting past that negative thinking, that negative doing so that you can create capacity in your mind so that you can move closer to those goals strategically and on purpose. Then we talked about don't fail to plan. So we talked about many ways that you can incorporate plans and documenting your plans all together, right? So we talked about documentation being conversation. You can talk about it all day long. I'm just saying, you can talk, but if you ain't doing nothing, then that doesn't help, right? Then we went into make every minute count. And that was the third section. And we have 5 sections in the book, right? So make every minute count. We talked about there being 1,440 minutes in every day. 1,440.
And 40.
And 40.
So we can do something with all of it.
We can do something with all of it.
All right.
So you have that many opportunities to make an impact, right? To make a step towards your goals, to be productive. So we talked about many ways that you can take advantage of the time that you do have. And then we went into making it happen, right? Make it happen. That's the action. So we talked about reframing your thoughts. We talked about getting your plan into place. And we talked about how to better use your time. But now we got to make some action. So we talked about all those many steps. We shared some awesome things there. But today we are still in the 5th section of the book called Refill Your Tank. And yesterday was the first topic or the first principle in this section where we talked about when you grow tired, rest, but don't quit. Today's topic, which is why I have my husband here, is family first, no exceptions. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. And I want to make sure that I am seeing your comments. See, I didn't have the comments open. Look at that. Look at God. So hello, Jackie. Jackie is always on. That's Mama Jackie to y'all. Hey, Dorothy. Thanks for joining. Rashonda, thank you for joining as well. Thank you all for the thumbs up and the heart love. And of course, y'all got to stick around because we got some stuff we want to share with you at the end. And once we share that, you are definitely going to have an opportunity to remain in contact with us. And so we'll know exactly how to best serve you as we continue with these lives, as we continue with Day with the Dorseys and all that stuff. Y'all know I can go all day long when I get on this live. So, hey, Brad, thanks for joining. So what we're going to do is go into the topic of which and why I brought my husband home. He probably like, Lord, is she going to shut up? So family first. Family first. No exceptions, right? So this is near and dear to our heart. Family is always first. Family oriented people we are. And I want to allow you the opportunity to open us up and get us started on this topic.
Good. So when I look at family, I think one of the first things that I would say for this particular topic is first we have to define family, right? I know that there's a formal definition that's out there, but I'm really talking about the family and the different, levels of family for that matter, right?
Yeah,
because you have some family within your household, right? And that's more of your immediate family. And there are certain amount of times or certain requirements or expectations you have for that immediate family. And once you define what that looks like, I think for each individual family, it may be different, right? Maybe a husband and wife, it may be the children, maybe parents, whomever was in that household. And then I think you have that next level of family. Mm-hmm. Now, in this next level, these are sometimes family members that you can even choose to be in, right? So it may be some of your real close friends that are just like family. So you want to spend as much time as possible with them, or, you get away with them or whatever it may be. That's your moment to reflect or to recover or whatever it may be with those particular people.
Right.
And then you have more of that extended family. But again, I think every person would define those different levels of family differently for themselves.
Absolutely. And I think it's going to be real important for you as we go through these steps that we wanted to share and pull out of this principle from the book. You'll really appreciate the fact that you've defined what part or what category of family these people fall into so that you can better take these approaches in an effective manner, and then you can be more efficient with it as well when you have that clarity. So did we have anybody else? I don't want to ignore anybody. So we want to make sure we're seeing you as you're joining. So make sure if you have joined before we go into our next point that we want to make on this topic, share this out, click notification so you'll get notified whenever we go live. Share this out to your friends, family, church members, neighbors, all of them, everybody. They need it because we are creeping up on a new year, right? And there are so many different things that we can quickly implement in our lives to ensure that we're productive for 2018. Not just 2018, but every year, every day. So this is the perfect time to take advantage of this. So as we continue with talking about family first, right? When we're trying to be so productive, right? I always talk about how we are so involved in so many different things. Everybody has different responsibilities, so to say, but we kind of get overwhelmed and we get stressed a little bit when it comes to making sure that we're giving our all or giving our best in all those categories. But we tend to neglect family.
We do.
We forget about family because we're so consumed in that, but we're thinking we're doing the best for our family. But there are some other things that we want to bring up and talk about right now that are important to consider after you've defined family, right? So as we said, it may be your immediate family. It may be your extended family. It may be friends that you have considered family because they've been around for so long, right? So these are all the many aspects of family that we are considering in these topics.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what was number two?
So we've defined them. Yeah, we really defined the family, I guess.
Yeah.
For that matter, right? For us, our immediate family, I mean, of course, is our immediate household, right? And there are certain things and certain expectations and certain things, the way we engage, our communication level, things that we do, things that we say, time that we spend, all those things are worked out and we have a strong understanding in how that plays out.
Absolutely.
But when it gets to the next level, to our parents, right, and to that next level, I would say the next level of parents, maybe some very, very, very close friends or siblings and things of that nature. Now, there's a different level of communication, expectations, requirements, and things that we do while we're available and here to help and support everybody. But there's a certain level, I guess, more of a degree that we will extend ourselves for those, depending on which category they're in, right? So beyond that, once we've defined a family, I think the next one is how do we spend that time? And it's purposefully, right? So it's important for the family that you do give them time. Now, I know my wife, she'll probably say, I want gifts, I want more time. I want gifts, I want things. Come on. But for family, I think it is a balance of an approach, right? You really want to give time, but with that giving of time, you actually receive that quality time from that particular person. Now, for me, I think for us, we have like goals. I know it's kind of crazy. How do you set goals around family and spending time? But that's something we really want to make a point to invest our time because it could get lost and we can get caught up in so many different things. And if you're not really purposeful and intentful about the time that you spend with the ones you care about, it could really, blow by you and not even realize what some of the magical moments that you really miss with spending time with your family. So
and it can destroy the relationship as well, right? And I think in one of our episodes with Date with the Dorseys, we talked about it, and maybe it was the most recent one about communication. We brought up the book 5 Love Languages, and that's not just for a relationship as far as, a spouse, right? Sure. So it's important to know what that person's love language is. So when we talk about spending time, and my husband just mentioned I love gifts, right? So that's important to know what that other person loves to receive or how they receive love, right? So that when you are planning intentionally to spend time with that person, you can give them what it is that fills their tank.
That's it. And so for that inner circle, that household family, the amount of time may be defined a little bit different, right? It may be I need date nights and things of that nature, or I have to be there to support you at all your events, or, it's just because I want to, not have to. But it's probably a mixture of both, right? The expectation is there. But to the other levels of family, maybe a little bit different. Maybe it's once a month, once a week, we have to do lunch or dinner and things of that nature. So, but spending that time and understanding how much time should be spent and having that very clear and actually exercising it, doing it.
Having a good balance.
Yeah.
Rachel, Happy New Year to you as well and your family. Thank you for joining. Make sure you share this out. Rashonda, yes, that is a good book as well. I think you're talking about the 5 love languages, but this is a good book as well. Actually, I think your daughter has a copy. So yes, good books. Thank you, Rachel. She says I'm beautiful.
Really? You know what? I hadn't said that today, for the record. So now you really beat me to it. I've let almost a whole day go by without telling you.
Shame on you. It's crazy. But yeah, so back to the topic at hand. We also, we want to chime in and catch your comments as you're making them. So we want to make sure that, Rashawn, I figured you were talking about 5 love languages, but I had to tease you on that. And, but we want to make sure that you're not being ignored. We see you, folks. Thank you for the thumbs up, the heart love, and your comments. Keep them coming as we continue to have this discussion. So, 5 love languages. We talked about that.
We did.
But remember, we are talking, the overarching topic is increasing your productivity, right? So as we're talking about being productive and working towards your goals, what we're saying is it's important to maintain that balance with your family because that's important. That's the foundation. That's what's going to carry you through. Those are the people that you expect that will support you and vice versa, right? So you want to make sure that you take care of home first.
Take care of home.
As my husband would say, I'm not a afterthought, right? So you don't want your loved ones to feel like an afterthought. So
not at all.
You want to make sure that is well taken care of.
Trust me, I will call it out if it comes across that way for me. Now, I encourage you to do the same, but for me, I will call it out.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. So
which leads to the next one that I'd like to make is communication.
Yes.
We talked about the 5 love languages. We talked about me, being an afterthought or whatever it may be. If there's something that comes up, I'm going to communicate it. And I have certain ways to communicate certain things at certain times. So, but I think for those things have to be set for each individual and each type of family structure and relationship, right? I think everyone has their own way of calling out for attention, right? I remember having friends and they would want time. So what they would do, it was just something would be hurting them, or they would just be it would just be their call for attention. Oh man, my arm is hurting, my leg is hurting, I can't get out. Like, okay, man, you really want somebody to come by and visit you and see you. Just say that, what I mean? Or maybe one thing or another. So, but I think each person has their way of communicating it, but in the family structure, I think it's something that definitely should be said. So, with that being said, I say this when it comes to work-life balance and communication and family. One thing that is key is you may have some family structures, where the father is just working a lot. Mm-hmm. He may be gone or whatever it may be. And the reason why he's doing it is so that he can bring in or provide, or maybe the mother is, doing a lot of the work and it's always gone or whatever it may be.
Right.
And that's truly a sacrifice that they're making, the father or the mother, to provide or bring in resources and things of that nature for the family. So that can be hard. I think those things should be talked to and communicated. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, one thing we don't want to do is to make that individual that's out working feel guilty or bad for the sacrifices he's having to give for his family, so that he can bring in to the family. And a lot of times it's probably because he's sacrificing to give the family something that he probably really didn't have much of, growing up himself. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to provide a better life than he had. So those type of things, and sometimes those can be tough conversations. So,
absolutely.
But I do encourage in those instances to have those conversations early and often, right? In that situation, it would be incumbent upon the wife or the spouse or the husband now to find that balance. How do we communicate to one another so that we can support ourselves, so that we can meet our family goals, right? So you're out working hard for a reason, and we're both taking sacrifices away, which may seem like an imbalance in our household. But now, how do we truly work together to promote or push for our ultimate family goal? And that communication is key now.
Hey, Tidra, thanks for joining. And yes, it is a virtual date with the Dorseys. Welcome. Make sure you guys are sharing this out. We still have a few minutes to go, so they have a chance to hop on and grab a piece of this live. Otherwise, they can catch it on the replay all the time, right? That's always available. But just to add on to what you were saying, when we associate this with being productive, even in all the many goals that we have individually, it's important for us to communicate to each other what that goal is so that the other knows exactly what to expect. And if you have to step away and be in your office, in your lab, as we would call it, grinding away, doing whatever it takes to get to that goal, then the other spouse understands what's going on, right? And it's not like you're just being a recluse or or you don't care.
Isolated from the family.
Right.
I used to see old movies where you'll just see the husband or the man out in the basement while the whole family is upstairs.
Yes, having dinner, just living, right?
Living. He's in the basement. He goes out to the meal and comes back, gives his check up, and goes back to the basement.
Yeah, you can go ahead and leave a check.
But leave a check and go to the basement.
But no, that's pretty much what we do. And then we have our...
No, we don't do the go to the
basement. No, not the basement part, people. Not the basement part. I'm saying we communicate our individual goals, right? We actually, which we've mentioned in the Day with the Dorseys as well. I'm just telling you, if you haven't been tuning in with the Day with the Dorseys, hey, Carolyn, Aunt Carolyn, that's Aunt Carolyn to y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to put a handle on that. On the Day with the Dorseys, we talked about that and how it's important to communicate that. And we talked about how we have family meetings, all two of us. We have regular family meetings, right, where we discuss finances, right? We frequently revisit that plan as well. And this one right here, you're going to hold me to it. Okay. So we already know what our goals are, right? We work together for our individual goals. We work together for our common goals as well, so that we're both on the same page. We have milestones. Sometimes we have like a whole map planned out. My husband will put a PowerPoint together like he about to present in a corporate office. Mm-hmm. This is real business.
If I'm going to do it for a corporation, then I'm certainly going to do it for us.
Yes.
Right? If it works, then I'm going to play it.
Yes.
Right?
You see, Tidra, she says develop a fortune state of mind.
That's it.
That's what we're talking about.
So
that's an inside thing. If you ain't been tuning in today with the Dorseys, I'm just saying.
You better get in.
You better get in. And who else? Hey, Leslie, thanks for joining. I can't see the whole comment, but let me slide this over. Oh, thank you. She says she loves listening to us, guys.
Okay.
So let me tell you, I got to put this out there. This is my husband's first live. So y'all got to give him some love. Hey, Brittany. Brittany says #goals.
What that mean?
See?
It's my first time live.
But yes, this is his first time live. So give him some love. Give him some shout out. Maybe he'll do it more often if y'all, pump him up. Y'all got to, you got to do the men's like that. Give him some love. So if you're just tuning in before we have another point, right?
I think I do.
Okay, so before we get into that last point, I'm glad you guys have joined late. Remember, you can always catch the replay. The replays will be available on my personal page and my business page at DRJ2UN. You can catch us there, and then you'll be, you know how I always like to say this. We're going to drop a new episode of the Day with the Dorseys this week. We just drop them like, I'm just saying they're just so hot. We can't hold it. We just got to drop it. So you'll be seeing one of those this week as well. So make sure you continue to follow so that you can get the latest and greatest on that as well. Share this out. If you're just joining, share this out. Give us some heart love, some laughter, some thumbs up. Let us know that you're out there. You're playing along with us. What to do? Tidra says she's going to develop you a social media playbook. That's going to help you. That's going to give you your guide.
Okay. No charge though, right? No charge.
He said no charge. Leslie says power couple. Look, guys, that's partly why I'm reading the comments, because I don't know if my husband even know where to look on here. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I'm looking all over.
So I'm reading it to make sure he gets it too. Thanks, Leslie. So, guys, if you're just joining in yet again, I want to remind you this is the 30-day productivity challenge. Remember, this is not just a challenge for me, but it's a challenge for us all together as a team, as a collaborative effort. And today, my husband is my special guest. Special always, right? Special guest in my life and on my life. Life and live. Look at that. Look at God just be throwing stuff out there on you. So I'm glad glad that you guys have joined today, because you have, if this is your first time, it won't be your last. And especially after you catch this, because I know that you guys will take away something, as I always say, as the old folks say.
What's that?
They say, sometimes you got to eat the meat and leave the bones. So if everything doesn't apply to you, you find what does apply to you. And you can immediately implement that into your life. Everything else, if it doesn't apply, you just move past that. But somebody else could use this, right? What you may think is the bones may be some meat to somebody else. So that's why I need you guys to make sure you're sharing this out. Okay? Make sure you share, like, and love, and all that good stuff. Teacher is funny. She said it's going to be a freebie.
All right.
Okay, so we can go into the next.
So the last thing I'd say.
The last thing I'd say, right, is making the family a part of the goals, right? And I know we're talking about, we have joint goals, individual goals, combined goals, things of that nature. But when you're having your own individual goals and you're communicating with your family, for that matter, one way to incorporate more time and more balance with the family is sharing your goals with them and making them a part of it. For example, we have a financial goal for the house. Yeah. Right? That we have to meet it. We're checking in on it. But one thing we do is we share that together. And I'm thinking about incorporating the children or whomever that's in the house to be a part of that goal, whether if it's saving, increasing the top line or saving on the bottom line, whatever it may be, right? You can save on some of the things that the cost saving types of initiatives or things to bring in more revenue. But if everybody's working together and understand if time has been spent over there or not together one another, what everybody's working towards. And then having fun with it, right? Sharing the wins or the successes and where the family can really see achievement together. One thing I do recall from many years of playing competitive sports is when there's a group of people that's working together for a common goal, no matter what you go through, good, bad, or indifference, you're going to have challenges. But one thing that brings you both everyone closer together is being able to achieve and accomplish something, right? Yeah. It's the struggle that you endured and were able to overcome. So some of my closest friends are just years and years of playing those sports and having that one common goal in mind and working together for it. So as a family, I certainly recommend that you establish those and incorporate everybody, everybody in the household or everybody in your next level, the next tier, I would say, of family or your extended family, if it makes sense, to incorporate them. And that's another way to even bring you even closer than where you are today. And not only that, but it starts to create the trend and the habit for your children so that they can then carry that on into their adulthood, right? Oftentimes that children don't have that experience. So they go into adulthood and don't know really what it means to, one, create goals, right? For two, to document goals. That's for three, to communicate, period. Whether it be communicating the goals or just communicating, period, right? And SC said exactly, collective measures. Absolutely. It's a team effort, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Rachel, we need to bring each other up and not down. Absolutely. And teacher said so true. We done said so much by now. I don't even know which part of you said. But we got you. We see y'all. Make sure that you continue to follow us and make your comments as we are closing out here. So the last point was to make sure that you are involving those other members in your household, right?
That's it. It's a family affair.
Family affair. And
because if I achieve the goal, my whole household is winning.
Right.
If I were to go out and
they should be.
It should be, right? Yeah, exactly. So everybody's winning here if one person achieves. So why not make everybody a part of it?
Yeah.
So that we can all benefit and it makes it easier. It brings us closer. We all enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the main part is enjoying it.
That's it.
Right? It's one thing to be stuck up in your room grinding, but if it ain't for the greater good of the home, then what's the grind for, right? What is the benefit of the grind? So with that, guys, today's topic again was family first, no exceptions. And remember, we're in the final section of the book, 5 sections of the total book, Intentional Living. I always do that backwards because I'm backwards. But make sure it's okay.
We'll reverse it. Yeah, get you right.
So you talk to me like I'm
Leslie going to help me out. Right?
But yes, make sure that you do continue to follow us. Make sure that you are incorporating your family, your close friends, whomever it is that you hold near and dear to your heart as you continue to grind towards your goals, right? Because as I mentioned, this fifth section is called refilling your tank. So that's why family is important, because that is where you get a lot of your fuel, right? And if you're not on the same page and you're at discord, then that's probably what you're going to see into your goals, right? Your goals are not going to be successful. You're not going to be successful if you can't have a happy situation at home, right? So with that, guys, thank you all for tuning in.
It's been a pleasure.
You know, I have to close out with a few items. We've been talking about the Intentional Living book. My book released earlier this year. That's where we're getting these 30 principles from. And we wanted to do it live and in color because we are approaching 2018. No better time than now to get started. You ain't got to wait until January 1st. I'm just saying, in case you were still thinking that, you can start acting towards your goals today. And this was just one of the principles that we've been talking about. Again, we're on day 26. So only a few more days to go, and then we're going to shut this thing down. But that doesn't mean that's the end. That's just the beginning. That's when the real work comes in. Hopefully you've been taking notes. You had your own copy, so you can take notes on your questions at the end of each principle, because I want to inspire, encourage, and empower, but I also want you to get into action, and hopefully you can see that with the angle of this light. But there are questions at the end of each principle to get you in gear, to ask yourself questions as far as how these principles truly relate to you in your life.
That's it.
That meat that we were talking about, right? But before I close out, as I say all the time, y'all know I keep thinking about stuff.
You are amazing at closing out. I tell you, you the closeout queen. I'm just sitting here listening. She can close it out.
Look, I told y'all I get it from my daddy. Okay, he's a preacher, and he say he gonna close out a few times before we really close out. So. And he got jokes. He got jokes.
I have a pot of stew going and
Okay, Leslie says, can you do it again? Yeah.
I'll do it again.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that question, Leslie. Leslie holding him accountable. And Tidra said, rake it up 2018. Y'all, if y'all hadn't heard or hadn't seen my post, that was my hashtag for 2018. We're going to rake it up. I'm just saying, we're going to rake it up, whether it mean goals, that mean dollars. We getting all that good. We're increasing our territory. But back to my closeout.
Okay.
Intentional living. Although I told Tidra said close out queen. Don't listen to him, y'all. I got to make sure y'all get all the meat, right? But as I was talking about the Intentional Living book that I've been using for my 30-day challenge, here's the thing. This is what's showing you principles, tried and true tips that you can immediately apply in your life. However, we have Intentional Living, the anthology. Yeah, coming out early 2018, where I have some amazing co-authors who are sharing their lived experiences as far as challenges and barriers that they've experienced in life and how they intentionally either overcame or learned how to cope with those challenges, right? So whereas you here have principles, in the anthology, you'll have lived experiences that you can relate to,
That's
right?
gonna be a good one.
Now this one,
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
he's a co-author.
I am.
So you guys should make sure that you continue to follow so that you can see what his story is about, what he shared. Tidra is a co-author as well. I don't think I saw any of the other co-authors join today, but I'm sure they'll be catching the live. Tidra says she's going to be looking for you again too. Y'all thank you. Hold them to it. Leslie said, Mr. Dorsey, you are too funny. Girl, if you had to live with him every day, all day, I'm just saying.
You wouldn't get any work. No, you would. Actually, you get a lot of work. You gotta be on it.
Yes, he'll be on it. But yes, make sure you continue to follow us so that you can, for one, get your copy as we continue to go through the 30-day challenge. For two, you want to make sure you follow so you can hear the latest and greatest on the anthology that's going to be released in 2018 with some amazing co-authors. And then I already mentioned Date with the Dorseys, right? We're going to be dropping that hot stuff this week. So make sure that you catch that as well. So as we autograph Mr. Dorsey, you getting famous on here, Mr. Dorsey.
First live.
His first live. Thank y'all. I asked y'all to pump him up and you doing it. I think we won him over. So he will definitely rejoin. So guys, if you will just continue to follow us, make sure you share this out. I'm really 3 times closing this out this time. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for all the hard love. Thanks for the comments and everything. Continue to push back some comments and let us know what you want to hear us talk about, whether it be on the live or on Date with the Dorseys. We'd love to hear from you. from you. Blah, blah, blah. So follow me at DRJTUN on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can catch me on my website. You see that on the screen, drjtun.com. As I always close out, you know when I say this, I'm really about to shut it down. Rachel said we should go live again. I'm really about to shut it down when I say this, right? There's never a perfect moment. What we have to do is make the moment that we currently have perfect. And that's what this is all about, guys. So with that, we're going to close it out. Thank you again for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. At least I will tomorrow.
Peace.